starting next week on Main Event. He brought up the match with Andre at the Pontiac Silverdome. So the Giant is alluded to as the son of Andre. Yep. Listen, out of all the things WCW did wrong with the Dungeon of Doom, Giant as the son of Andre is a pretty big mess up here. What's your thoughts? What do you remember pitching this as he's going to be the son of Andre?
I didn't pitch it. It was pitched to me. And I didn't dig it. I didn't dig it. That was
the way to say it politely.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard to be.
I didn't dig it.
I'm trying really hard to be kind here. It was a bad idea. It was a fucking horrible idea. It just was. But I went along with it for reasons that we've already discussed. But it was so bad. It was just so bad.
I can't wait for the Conrad to break out and you the I didn't dig it t-shirt, possibly. Yeah, I didn't dig it.
No.
So in his first match, the Giant is the WCW champion. You guys have talked about it a little bit before, but talk about this. He's now the title holder in his first match here. Do you agree with what Meltzer said? Hey, pretty impressive, the spot he was put in to, he did his job of trying to make that the best he could do.
Absolutely agree. I mean, Paul White, what people, and we saw glimpses of it later on, there was a lot of, not concern, but awareness, because Paul White he's a freak. He's a giant, right? And Hulk especially took Paul under his wing and really wanted to try to make Paul the next version of Andre the Giant. And Hulk was really careful about Paul not doing too much and just doing giant things. Didn't want to see Paul bump. Didn't want to see Paul do anything too athletic, because giants aren't athletic. Giants are giants. They're powerful, right? But Paul could do a kip up.
Wow.
I mean, that's something that most 160-pound gymnasts can't do. But Paul could, at 300 some odd pounds or whatever he weighed at the time. He could literally lay on a mat and kip up without using his hands. That's really, really difficult to do. Paul could just do it naturally. He was a super gifted athlete. And Paul wanted to do more. Paul was really gifted, really, really gifted. And it was hard, I think, a little bit on Paul, a little difficult on Paul to not do more, because people were trying to, hold him back and keep him from doing things that would, in their minds at least, make him less of a giant and more of like everybody else.
And also, by the way, just as a fan, even though for years I've seen him on television, he's the Giant, he's the Big Show, still the first time you see that man in person, you're like, holy shit. I mean, he's just a giant human. I mean, the Giant is the perfect name for him.
I'm 5'11". Right now I'm about 200 pounds, 210. I'm an average size person, right? Last time I saw Paul a year ago, whenever it was, I walked up to say hi. And first of all, you shake hands with him and it's like sticking your hand. It's like slamming your hand in a 63 Chrysler Imperial car door. Like in 63, in the 60s, they'd make a big Chrysler Imperial. You could make 7 cars out of the amount of metal that was in one car back in the 60s. Paul's hand is like sticking your hand in the car door and getting it slammed in a 63 Chrysler Imperial. And then you look up at him and you're really looking up at him.
Incredible.
He's so big. I feel like, and again, he's not that much taller than me, but I almost feel like I'm looking into his midsection standing next to him. And you don't realize that on television. I mean, he's big because you can see him relative to everybody else that is big. So he's a big dude. But you're right, Cassio. When you meet him for the first time, it's like, Holy shit.
I mean,
I didn't know it was this big.
Yeah, you should. Like I said, he's been billed as this giant man. He's never not been billed as a giant man. And yet still, I was shocked at how big the guy was. That speaks to how large he really is. We should know he's large. He still surprises you when you see him.
And I'll be objective as I can. I think Hulk and not, it wasn't just Hulk, it was everybody around, Kevin Sullivan, everybody really trying to protect Paul from himself and protect him from doing too much, because Paul was like a racehorse. He wanted to go. He was capable. I mean, Paul could do a standing drop kick like nothing. Well, he had a beer in his hand. I mean, he's just a freak that way. But if Paul White or someone like Paul White showed up today, he'd be doing hurricane ranas off the top rope. You know,
incredible.
It'd be stupid. It would be the other extreme. Like, you know, we went to one extreme with Paul White trying to make him the next Andre. And I think if you would introduce him today, you'd be seeing him doing all kinds, because he was capable of it.
Yeah.
It's freaky.